Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network. Welcome back to the show. We are so excited to have Amy Hunt joining us here live today on the podcast and Zoomcast to talk more about Simply Bliss Med Spa. Yep, that's the name of it. She's the owner based out of Omaha, Nebraska, and she's helping so many people discover your true, beautiful self. How are you today?
We're good. How are you doing?
Great pleasure to have you here. And I want our listeners to reach out to you right away so they know how to contact you. I'm going to give them the website, simplyblissmedspa.com. Do you want to share a phone number or social media page as well?
Yeah, so we're at Simply Bliss Med Spa on Instagram. Our phone number is 402-502-9868. We have an info at Simply Bliss Med Spa as well as contact at Simply Bliss Med Spa.
Beautiful. And please introduce the beautiful lady next to you as well.
And this is Melissa Ritonya. She's an APRN, our nurse practitioner, specializing in hormones and weight loss, and also an injector.
And we call her Missy, right?
Missy, yes.
All right, good. Well, nice to meet you. Nice to have you. So, Amy, give me an overall view of what Simply Bliss Med Spa provides.
Okay, so it has grown quite a bit. I started out in 2018. I have been an injector for 15 years. So mostly when I opened my med spa, I pretty much focused on injectables, skin treatments, skin care, and a little bit of weight loss and hormone at that time. We recently moved about a year ago to a much larger space, which I was able to then expand the practice.
Okay.
That's when Missy came on. I was able to then have a full-time nurse practitioner with me, and that has really helped Bliss grow.
Beautiful. And I want to just get to know you on a personal level first, if you don't mind going back a little. I read earlier that I know you were always into art, right? You wanted to be an artist. So you, aesthetic wise, you had that eye, right? So tell me a little bit about your background, where you grew up, and then how you got into this field. And I know you also wanted to be a nurse. So I want to hear the whole backstory, if you don't mind.
Sure. So my whole life, I thought I was going to be an artist. I studied art in my first years of college, sculpture, three-dimensional design, that kind of thing. And then life happened. I ended up being a single parent. I left school for a while, started working for a dentist. I was brought up in dental. That was my family was all in dentistry. And so I was working for a dentist, and he's like, you need to go back to school. I love having you here, but you really need to go back to school. And so me being kind of in the art room, my whole high school career and things, and my first year of college, I just started looking in the health sciences, and I applied for nursing school. I had to write an essay, and it wasn't like something like I've dreamt to be a nurse my whole life, but I did love working with the public. And so I got accepted to nursing school, went through nursing school, raising a little boy on my own. And that's how it got started. So now we look 31 years later, and I get to combine that sculpture, that three-dimensional design that I've art with my sciences. And that's how it became. I love nursing. I've loved nursing. I worked hospitals for my first 10 years or so. And then I've been doing this for 15 years. So
amazing, amazing. And did you want to share a little bit about some obstacles you've overcome over the years?
Sure. So, I don't keep it too secret that I struggled with alcohol for a long part of my life. So I've been sober for 17 years.
Congratulations.
And yeah, thank you. So that brought a lot of obstacles for me when I was, still trying to figure out how I could make it all work. And I was a pretty high functioning alcoholic, but that brought a lot of obstacles for me, a broken marriage. So I will tell you that in that, in getting sober, staying sober, being in the program of AA, helping other women, it really helped me in my injectable life.
Mm-hmm.
Um, uh, you know, I don't like to ever talk negatively about my industry, but I can tell you that it's been very good and easy for me to recognize when maybe someone's having trouble,
Mm-hmm.
the inside and the outside. It's just brought a ton of empathy into my life, my ability to really have deep connections with my patients. Some are always, some are looking to fill from the outside something that's missing on the inside, and it's just been a beautiful thing for me. I have really great relationships with my clients, and I'm not saying that anything bad about the industry or anything like that. What I'm saying is that women need compassion at times. Women
Mm-hmm.
need to have a friendly face, someone they trust. They come in. It's very intimate having needles
Yeah.
stuck in your
You
face, you
become like
know?
a friend, like a family member, and that's beautiful that you're watching out for your clients, their
That's
real best interest, mind, body, and soul. And I know your mission really is to foster those healthy minds and bodies. And again, emphasize to people that perfection's not the goal, but let's celebrate our individuality and
absolutely.
therefore this is what you and your team are doing best. And can I just ask to get started, when someone comes in, um, assessment wise, you offer the assessment, right? On everything. Could you just share the process of how this works?
Yeah, correct. Yes. So what we did when we were building, especially when we were able to build out our new space, we relocated just last year. What I really have always wanted, I want people to walk in and feel like they've walked into my home.
Yeah.
So the way we decorate, the way we bring people in. So the one thing that we do here is that we always schedule enough time, because if you don't have enough time, you don't get to sit down and do a really good assessment with someone. And someone may be coming in just for, say, toxin, Botox, something like
Mm-hmm.
that. You don't give them enough time, then it's very hard to, one, establish your relationship, establish trust, and then be able to go over a lot of things. So one
Yeah.
thing that we do, both of us do, is we give people's first appointments enough time to talk to them, regardless of what they're coming in for. Then if we do the treatment that day, we always, it's just, it's necessary to bring someone back. Number one, are they happy with what happened? Are
Mm-hmm.
they happy with their results? So follow-ups are always a thing we do here. A lot of people don't want to, or they'll say to us, oh, really? You want me to come back? I'm like, who isn't bringing you back to make
Yeah,
sure you're
right.
happy? But that is, and then that gives
Mhm.
you the next opportunity to go ahead and talk to them even more about, okay, so when you came in originally, you were pointing here, here, and here. We talked about what we could do. Now, what are the next steps that we can do? And then that brings us into all the other things that we can offer here. So Simply Bliss is kind of a one-stop shop, based on, not necessarily what someone comes in for,
Mm-hmm.
but what they get to realize that we're doing once they get here. So
what Amy has done a great job with her patients and why they continue to come back is she doesn't look at them just from the outside. It's the beauty from within. And so, as you know, in this industry, you can get into focusing on imperfections. And so, we don't like to focus on just those imperfections, but the whole picture of everything to make you feel comfortable. And like she said, it's a very intimate environment when you come in, because you're coming in and you're showing people the things that you hate about yourself. But we like to
Yeah.
dig a little bit deeper and make people feel like, don't focus on those things, really focus on all of the things that make you beautiful. And so if they're pointing out, I hate my lips, I hate my eyes, we always make them say, tell me the things that you like. And then we draw into those and say, well, what about your eyes? Look at how they, that was the first thing I noticed when you walked in making them feel beautiful and comfortable. So when they leave, they're happy and they're not feeling more self-cautious than when they came in and thinking, oh my gosh, now I need to go do this. And now my jaw, now my chin. And so just kind of looking at the whole picture. And Amy's done a great job from the very beginning with all of her patients. And so her name, Simply Bliss, is truly, when you walk in, that truly has a big meaning to her, what she's created.
Yeah. Yeah,
Beautiful.
that was a big part of naming my spa, everything, if we can make this simple, um, it helps people not feel so overwhelmed, especially people who are new to the industry coming in. So Missy's right. We always focus on what's good, and then we'll come back to, okay, so what are some things we can help you improve on? The other thing about our spa is we're super natural. I am very much, I'm not everybody's injector because I'm going to tell you the truth. And I'm also going to,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to do some things that some people might request. People come in all the time and they'll have their phone and these are the lips I want. These are the cheeks I want. And, I'm okay with telling people no.
Yeah,
And I think there's a lot of spas that won't do that.
absolutely. I agree. Here in New York, the same.
You're,
And
and by the way, you look amazing.
oh my gosh, well, see, I think every woman feels like self-conscious, right? Like I'm sitting here saying, oh my God, I haven't had Botox in 6 months. And oh my these neighbor, what can I do for this? I'm like, oh, this is all jagged. I want to do stuff.
Yes,
I want to inject. I've never done anything else. And I'm like, I want to start. Like you just feel as a woman. And plus you get to look at yourself on camera like this. It's like, you
yeah.
look at every little flaw and wrinkle. So I wish I lived closer to come in for that assessment. But
Oh my God,
as
I'd
a
love to
woman,
have you.
it's what we do, and we want it. And looking better. Some men don't understand this. We want to look better. I said to the guy I've been dating the other day, he's like, "Oh, what do you want for Christmas?" And this is what I said to him. I said, "Oh, just some Botox." I said, "Maybe, I don't know, filler." I said, "I would love to try something to help with these jowls." He's like, "You don't need it. Don't be doing
Right.
that stuff. Don't." And they put you down, and I'm like. You asked me what I wanted. I told you what I wanted. And that's that. I have a 7 and 9 year old. I don't go out much. I don't do much. I don't buy anything expensive. And, I'm working hard. So I'm like, and then like I feel like, he shot me down. Like men don't understand how it
Right.
makes us feel. They think, oh, it's weird. They get all weird about it. But I'm sure now you have men clients as well that do come in for all these things. I know some men who get Botox done. I know a man who just had a lift done in this area with my friend who's a plastic surgeon. I was like, this is awesome. And he's like on social media talking about it. I'm like, yay, it finally we're breaking barriers here because it's not just ladies that want to feel and look good. We're entitled to it.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Yes. Amen.
Right?
Yes.
Amen. So, and if a little something like this can help us feel better or about ourselves, why not? And you know what? I know with your treatments, you mentioned you do injectables. Could you just share what that means? Some people might not understand. So, what are the injectables? And I know people get confused sometimes with Botox and filler.
Right.
Could you just share a little bit about that too?
Yes. And so to your point, men are like, they'll see something like an over injected, say, housewife. Okay.
Correct. Yep.
And they'll think that's all Botox, which is just hilarious. It's like,
They
yeah,
don't.
you know what I'm saying. So anyway, that is funny. So injectables are going to include neurotoxins.
Yeah.
Those are things like Botox,
Yep.
Dysport,
Mm-hmm.
um, Daxi. So we have 4 different toxins that we use, offering different things to different people. Then there's dermal filler. Dermal filler are things like Juvederm,
Mm-hmm.
uh, uh, Restylane, um,
That's where it gets
RHA.
confusing, right? They're different brands, but they're
Correct.
similar. So they're different names or are they different
Correct.
ingredients?
Yeah. And so we only use dermal fillers that are
Okay.
HA based, hyaluronic acid based. And the reason for that is safety. They are reversible. So more so safety wise, a thing. Plus, they can be dissolved if someone's very unhappy. We
That's
don't
great.
recommend that
So it's
all
like
the
a
time.
trial and error. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Correct. We don't recommend that a lot. That the enzyme that you use to dissolve can be kind of hard on the tissue. Then we have collagen stimulators like Sculptra.
Mm-hmm.
So that is something that you lay under the skin, not necessarily a filler, but something that's going to stimulate collagen. So those are the main 3 things that I would consider injectables. We also do some PRP, which would be, um, you
Ah,
know, placing. It's autologous, so we draw their blood and then we spin off red cells using the PRP, platelet-rich plasma, to enhance areas.
people call that the vampire facial. I know
Correct.
Kim Kardashian made that very popular, but
Correct.
it's very helpful,
Yeah,
I hear. Okay, go ahead.
very helpful.
So it's more a natural approach for a filler, or if you're looking to just kind of give yourself a natural boost for aging. So it's going to work with your own collagen stem cell production to produce collagen, so kind of reversing the aging without the use of fillers.
Right. And then I kind of built my practice, my thing on something I call boot camp. So again, a very natural way. So people who aren't interested in neurotoxins are afraid of that, which is fine, or not interested in filler, and
Yeah.
and not interested necessarily in Sculptra. Then I offer a thing. It's called boot camp. I've been doing it for about 10 years, in which we bring you in. It's microneedling. It can be the vampire facial if you want. It's some type of, like, we use VI peel, as well, as we have a ton of lasers here. So I haven't even gotten into that yet. And then uh,
Ah,
hydrofacial, hydrating facials. But what I
oh
do
gosh.
with that is I put them into a full line of medical grade skincare, which a lot of people have never used in their life. And so we put it all together. It's a 19-week program. We kind of tear the skin down and build it back up. That's why I call it boot camp, kind of like a soldier. We're going to bring you in, we're going to kind of tear you down and build you back up and have an amazing result at the end. So that is a fun thing. And that's something I've been doing for a long time.
Awesome. Well, I know this is our first show. We're getting to know you all, get the whole overview of what you have to offer. I just want to remind people who we're talking to and, of course, how we can contact you. So, Amy, could you share again all forms of contact?
Sure. So we have info@simplyblissmedspa.com. We also have a contact at simplyblissmedspa.com. Our website is simplyblissmedspa.com. And then our phone number, of course, 402-502-9868.
And you can find us on Instagram and Facebook at simplyblissmedspa.com.
Perfect. I also saw you're offering some November specials right now as well, which is always good. You're doing that for the holidays and you always have specials, I guess, each month different.
Yeah. Yeah, we do.
Kind of come up with themes based
Yeah, I
on
saw
what we
Helene.
are
She's
seeing.
offering the one buy one, get one free microneedling, and then there's someone else offering the hydrotherapy treatment.
Yeah,
yes.
colon hydrotherapy. This month for my specials, we have a hormone special where you get $150 off your initial hormone consultation. And then Amy's always doing some kind of a special for fillers and toxins and
Yeah.
face her boot camp as
Face
well.
stuff, yeah. So we'll be offering specials now through the holidays. We're getting ready to celebrate. We celebrated 1 year in this location, but because of the nature of what we do, trying to do an event in the middle of November is
Oh
not a
no.
good idea. So we're going to do a
Mhm.
beautiful event in February. We're going to call it Thanks for the Love, for all the support that we've gotten in our new
Aw.
location, our new clients. That'll be a big fun party in which all our reps will be there. We do giveaways, we do huge giveaways, and then we'll be putting together packages for the year. We offer membership here, and a
Yeah,
membership
what's
here
the
is,
membership? I saw that as well.
yeah. So it's $100 or more per month that we draw from your account that stays here for you. It's There's no fees, there's no anything, but it sits here and waits for you to come spend it. Um,
So when you come in, you can say it's kind of like a savings account that you're already
Yeah.
putting money into. So if you come in to do a procedure or buy something, you have this little credit sitting there. So for people who are like, I don't want my husband to know, this is a great membership because you could pick the
Hmm.
amount that you have put away, and then you also get an additional 10%
10%
off
off.
of every service every single month for doing
Wow,
so.
I like it's like a savings bucket. I love
Yes.
those. Oh my
Yeah, and especially
goodness.
if you know that you're already going to be doing some of those treatments throughout the year, this is an easy way to pay for it over time. So it's already set aside for you.
Yeah, and which
Beautiful.
and the benefit of that is you're going to be getting 10% off a majority of the things that you're coming in for. So I always say it just makes the burden at the cash out a little less, because you
Absolutely.
already have 300 or $400 or $500 banked when you come in for your quarterly treatment.
I love it. This is great. And well, that's one of the things that sets you apart. But I was also going to ask overall, what would you say, going to your med spa sets you apart from the rest and makes you unique? I like that program, but I'm sure you have more.
Well, I do. So so getting into assessment, right?
Hmm.
I do think what is nice for people, first of all, I was in a terrible location before. I'm in a very central
Mhm.
location, which is nice. So what I would like is I would like Simply Bliss to kind of be a one-stop shop for you. You get to know us, you get to come in, you're spending time with us. And so when we get into assessment, sometimes people will come in and I'm just like, wow, what happens, and you know it, everybody knows it. At about 40, a woman's going to come in and say, what is going on? What has happened?
Yeah.
And we know that at 40 is the time when women begin their hormonal shifting, their hormonal changes,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
And so, how awesome is that I get to say, well, here's this, there's this, in my opinion, but I wonder what your hormones are doing.
Mhm.
I just so happen to have a hormone specialist here who is amazing, who is more about optimal balancing of hormones than you would get in
Hmm.
just your traditional visit to your doctor who
Got
runs
it.
your blood and looks at you and says, you're fine. No,
Hmm.
you're fine. And this is Missy's, what I just adore her so much. We balance optimally when we help someone balance their hormones rather than you're fine because the lab said so.
Well, and I
Yeah.
think the other part of it too is we know that starting at the age of really 30, you start to lose collagen as much,
Hmm.
make as much as you do in your 19, 20, 30, going in up into the 30s.
I know.
So part of that is as we're losing collagen, we're also starting to lose fat in our face. We're starting to have that
Yep.
elasticity of our skin.
Yep.
So even though Amy is correcting those signs of aging, you also have to correct them from within. And when you can do it synergistically, you're going to end up with the best results, not only looking results, but also feeling results inside. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, that's another thing I was going to bring up. I know we want to discuss, the supplemental support that you use to really enhance the injectables, right? The skincare, the lifestyle changes, and also the hormonal. Is it hormonal therapy or treatment? Can I just ask you specifically what that is and entails?
Yeah, so it's different for everybody. We have all different types. We do bioidentical hormone replacement here. So it's naturally boosting what your body isn't
Okay.
making as much on its own anymore. And it can come in several different types. And so it's very patient dependent. And so we personally kind of dig in to decide what's going to be the best route for each person. And so we can do pellets, we can do injectables, we can do
Awesome.
creams, we can do oral dissolvable tablets that are like little sugar cubes that you take in the morning. So, that's something that we kind of dive into and make it personalized for each person. And we can kind of mix and match. And then we also have natural supplements too. So for people
Right.
who aren't quite ready to make that commitment to hormone replacement, there we have a whole variety of supplements that you can take just to kind of naturally boost what you have going on.
Beautiful. Well, we are just about out of time with 2 minutes left on the clock. There's still so much more to talk about. But I'm excited, for our first show that we got to know you, got a little overview of, and by the way, where are you located specifically if someone's listening today?
Yeah. So the address is 11902 Pierce Plaza, and that's in Omaha. Omahans who are here, we're across from
Yay.
Big Fred's, and that's a famous pizza place. But we're on 119th and Pacific in Omaha.
Beautiful. I know next week we're going to talk all about aesthetics and get more into details. But also, I urge everyone to go to that website, simplyblissmedspa.com, and learn more about everything that you do. There's so many different services and lifestyle medicine, and then we can talk about the Lutronic laser and the microneedling more and Kybella weight loss. There's a lot that you all do. This is, by the way, how many people work on your team there? Just curious.
I think we have 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have 10.
Amazing. Oh
Mm-hmm.
my goodness. Well, I cannot wait to talk to you again. And there's so much that you do. Even like you do peels, right? And facials and stuff too.
Yeah, we do. We have an amazing, very veteran esthetician. She does a great job. Like you said, we have lasers, and we've really been just really loving our new Lutronic MD. It does so many things, so we can talk about that down the road. What else? As well as really great skincare. So
Yes.
we're huge fans of the Alastin medical grade skincare line. I
Yes.
also have my own organic line. something I developed with my son. And we offer that. And then a few little niche-y other products. And then, like she was saying, we support and sell in our office Designs for Health. That is a really great supplement brand sold to physicians. So like she was saying, there's so many things.
I know. Well, we're going to talk more. I cannot wait. I'm sorry we're out of time, but even like colon hydrotherapy, I read, vaginal rejuvenation, there's so much to you all. So I'm excited you're here. Pleasure getting to know you both. And again, please visit simplyblissmedspa.com.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you now have even more ways to listen live. Check out the MyTuner Radio, online radio box, and Simple Radio apps on iOS and Android, or find us online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com, or search Podcast Business News Network on streama.com and onlineradiobox.com/US. Take your podcast on the go and don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house.
And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned. This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.